Guess you could say she was a sex fiend. I met her in a hotel lobby, masturbating with a magazine. She said, how'd you like to waste some time? And I could not resist when I saw little Nicky grind. The castle started spinning, or maybe it was my brain. I can't tell. Hey, Lewis, John, Fettuccine Orbs here, Jeffson, Mr. X's back, Glenn's here, Lost Pupper, Shadow Beast, Arthur, New York Red Bulls, Ofest, and Wolverine's back in, Smiggy, Bobby Wayne, Hades, Sai Al Amri, Dark Slifer, and or Oywin. I still got. That's the name. That's how I always say that name ever since Throw Mama from the Train. I can't help it. Lieutenant Lick Me. Hi, Ivan. Oh, well, thanks, Bento. Yeah, so this one's up. This one's on you guys. I usually come. Yeah, I usually come semi prepared for a live stream. I even on Free for All Friday, I'll have some topics of conversation to get things started. And I had such a busy morning and early afternoon and I wanted to get a stream in. I wanted to hang out with you guys. So I sat down and I got nothing. Nothing. So it's all on you. What do you guys want to talk about? Mary Joanna Iokura says, Lud says, installing a pretty big game in the background. This came on perfect time to spend some time in. Oh, cool. Good game. What you gonna play? Can't believe they blame Trump for the market dump, Arthur says. Well, you knew that was coming, Arthur. They're obviously, especially in an election year, well, at any time, they're going to try and spin anything on Trump. I mean, of course, the market dump is absolutely ludicrous, but it makes them feel better to bounce things around in their echo chamber because nobody with any sensibility or common sense believes that. It's just they get to go, oh, yeah, it's definitely Trump's fault. If he's going to take credit for the economy doing well, he's got to own it when it goes bad. It has nothing to do with a potential pandemic. Ultra Luke says, I went on a date, but it didn't work because I asked her if she had coronavirus. Oh no, she wasn't Asian too, was she, Ultra Luke? And you still asked? Oh, high school DxD. I still got to Pinhead Larry. I still got to find a place at the Goosh to watch season 4. I got to get caught up, and I love that show. Exactly, Arthur. Exactly. Jacob says Pornhub actually might be permanently taken down. Somebody's actually trying to shut down Pornhub for a sexual harassment type of deal. Really? They're pretty big. I would be surprised to see that happen. One individual, even if there is sexual harassment, somebody will get arrested or somebody will pay a judgment or something. But wow. Member Barry says no live video reactions. Had one I wanted you to see. We haven't done live video reactions, pal, in a long time. If I do live video reactions, then the stream can't go live to the channel. We just can't take any chances with the block bot anymore. We haven't done those in quite some time. No, Lost Pupper. I can't believe Pornhub would actually be removed. No, we got to take to the streets before that happens. Shit. Yeah, support gaming. What it says is this a sign that the world is ending? Is what a sign? Pornhub going down? Yes, that would be. I'm only 2 episodes in, but yeah, Bleach is cool. I like the storyline. I like the characters. I like Ichigo's. I like that Ichigo's sword is bigger than what's her name, Rukia's. I see what you're saying. Okay. I misunderstood. Wolverine saying a video was uploaded of a 15-year-old getting raped. Ooh, yeah, that would take them down. Oh, okay. I misunderstood. I thought you were saying that, or it was being said that within that company, somebody had committed some sort of sexual deviancy. I got what you're saying. Oh, yeah, that would do it. That could get them done for good. Sean Case's favorite football team and players of all time, go Irish. Well, obviously, Notre Dame football is my number one passion as far as sports goes. My favorite NFL team is the Cowboys, but surprisingly, my favorite NFL player of all time is a Bear. It's Dick Butkus, because he was a psychopath. Oh man. I feel like they need to go after the Playboy Mansion too, Erwin says. Why? I don't know of anything going on with underage kids there. At least I never heard of it. No, Obito, I didn't watch the pay-per-view. Uh, well, apparently, Eric, this is the first I'm hearing of it, but apparently it's a maybe thing right now. This is the first I've heard of it, so I don't have any really, any good details to give you guys. They can't control every user, not their fault. Yeah, that's true, Arthur, to a degree. But man, if you had not only, it's one thing for them, for these porn sites to post rape fantasies, but to have a legitimate sexual assault and then further on a minor, yeah, that might be a case where the government could come in and say, okay, well, if you have that little control over what's seen at on your website, then we are taking you down. That'd be a tough one. As Miggy said, this is a porn chat now. I like that. It went in a positive direction today, right off the hop. Firewall Dragon says, I'm not sure whether to call the debate the other night a complete mess or the greatest TV event of all time. For any of you, and I sat through the whole thing, Dragon. It was awful. But again, a lot of the reason it was awful, in fairness to the candidates, even though I'm not supporting them, let's be fair, the moderation was horrible. The moderators were terrible. That was the biggest reason it was awful. I mean, the candidates didn't help any with the constant bickering and sniping, but the moderation was awful. I thought my takeaway from it, for anybody that's interested, and this is, as I don't have a dog in that fight, so it's my take was the winner was either Biden or Buttigieg. And to be fair, Buttigieg has, to me, either won or been the top contender in every one of the debates. He's just really, really good at that format. Warren, probably after that. Steyer's a plant of some sort. They just needed to water him or something. And Bernie got blasted, I thought. Dolphin. Anime Dolphin says, I coughed and said I had the coronavirus to get sympathy sex at school today. And she had the audacity to say, no, yes, I'm 22 and she was 6, but still. Dude. Oh, and I thought, that's you had me in the first half thing. At the beginning, I was like, okay. Okay, that's pretty funny. I got the coronavirus. Give me some sympathy sex for that. That's good. And then 22 and 6, it was like, yeah, then it got dark in the second half. Everything went to hell in the second half. Yeah. Well, Arthur says Biden 150 million killed by guns since 2007. Yeah. But I don't come down too hard on any of the candidates for a misspeak like that. Doing a lot of public speaking as I do, it's throwing in an incorrect number or something, as egregious as it sounds. That can happen. I mean, I'm not making excuses for Biden. I'm just saying my personal take on that. Doing a lot of public speaking as I do, that happens. And we all know that Biden is a gaffe machine anyway. He'll tell you that. He's admitted it. Eric, yes, socialism for America. I don't know. I'm thinking it's starting to look a little bit like things are swinging away a little bit from Bernie. Now he'll win California, obviously. I don't think anything will swing that far. But if Bloomberg, which probably won't happen, if Bloomberg were to all of a sudden, for whatever reason, just say, fuck it, I don't want to do this and drop out, I think Biden's done. I think Bernie's done. I think the only chance Bernie has at getting the nomination is if Biden and Bloomberg keep splitting votes. Because if either one of them go out, I think the plurality of their voters goes to the other. Dragon says, fun fact, the Dems are blaming the Kung Fu outbreak on Trump. Yeah, and the thing of it is, Dragon, you knew that was going to be the case. And I don't even think they honestly realize outside of their little echo chambers that everybody else is just laughing at them. I really don't think they do. I mean, everybody is aware of where the outbreak came from. And their big thing, too, is Trump made cuts at the CDC. He did 9%. But nobody has stated anything, because it can't be stated, of how this has had an effect on the reaction to the virus yet. So Trump made cuts there. You make cuts in government agencies all the time. Any place it's the responsibility of lawmakers to make cuts anywhere they see bloat. So how do we know that they weren't necessary cuts? Because certainly nothing negative has happened so far because of any cuts that were made anywhere. But yeah, you knew that was gonna be the blame. That's just their little, again, they get on social media, they get on Twitter in their little echo chamber, and they complain and cry. And this is the Trump virus. It's clear he started it. I'm sure we'll get it back to him somehow, and everybody else laughs at them. And Eric says, "Don't worry, Bernie will be gone in a year or two." Yeah, yeah. You wonder how serious that heart attack was. I mean, I'm not rooting death on the guy. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying you're wondering because he got secretive about the actual details. He didn't release all the details of that event like he said he was gonna, and it just makes you curious because prior to that he had been upfront with everything. So it does make you wonder. I didn't see Irishman yet, Sean. Martin Scorsese movie? Boy, I'd have to think back. But I haven't seen Irishman. Everybody says it's really, really good. I don't get to see nearly as many movies, well, as I did when I was younger. I mean, my wife and I don't get a chance between having my stepdaughter, who's multiply disabled here, and my mother living with us, and she's gotten bad with the dementia. She cannot be left alone. So with having both of them here, it's very rare that her and I get to go out together anywhere. CDC should only have that much dollars during a crisis. Right, Arthur, and that's another good point. Cutting the CDC is not a big deal when there is a crisis situation, when you can put the money back in that you need to deal with it. But we shouldn't have to pay for any type of governmental bloat. I mean, again, if it's an agency that's created to deal with a crisis, you need to have a team there that maintains things at all time, and then, like you said, pump some money into it as the need comes. The new Candyman movie? I didn't catch that one yet, Patrick. I don't know what that one is. Member Barry says if Pornhub were to go down, all the porn stars would be out of work. That is the real and pressing issue here. What will all of us horny men, women, and Curtis do? There's a lot of pussy out, a lot of loose pussy out there. Well, the thing of it is, I've read articles before talking about this, and it's true. They say the one economy-proof industry in America is the porn industry, in that it never takes a hit, no matter how bad times get. I mean, this is, of course, up into the digital age. No matter how bad things have gotten, it still always makes money. So even if they took out Pornhub, all the others will come right in and fill the void fine. Omega says, so I learned an interesting thing about how far my girlfriend will go to get me in bed. Oh my. That I must admit, that does sound interesting, Omega. That sounds very interesting. Even the government needs porn, Smiggy said. Yeah, probably more of it, Smiggy. Maybe it'd get their minds on, or get their minds clearer. Porn is ultimate comfort, apparently. Yeah, or it's again, it's recession proof. It's just economic downfall proof. In my opinion, we need an age limit to any and all candidates. Wolverine says, I think you can make a case for term limits. I don't know about age limits. That's kind of ageism there. Yeah, because some people get into their 90s and they're still really sharp. So I would hesitate to do that. Oh, that's right. Lud says, speaking of girlfriends, have we heard from the poor man we had fart near his girlfriend yesterday as our brother survivor? I have not heard from him, Lud. We'll have to see if he's in here, but I have not, and I'm starting to feel a little bit guilty. Who knows what she might have done to him? Saw ETV says, how do you feel that you've seen The Basement and learned the truth, and are you satisfied with the story? Grisha's backstory is made. Oh, more than satisfied with the story. Well, satisfied with what we've seen. Now I can't wait for the next season. And the way they tied it up, I really enjoyed that. I liked the whole scene at the ocean and everything, and Armin finally gets to the sea, and it's cool, and the seashell and all that, but what is yet to happen and what is yet to come with what's on the other side of that vast expanse of water, I'm more than satisfied. That was Attack on Titan was stunning. It was so good. Right, you got Brazzers, Smiggy, good point, and you got X videos. Oh, we'll be fine. Yeah, Arthur. I've only seen 2 episodes of Bleach. Just the very basics I know so far. This this Keanu Reeves guy. I call him Keanu Reeves because in that initial shot they take of this guy that apparently got turned into some sort of, I don't know if it's a hollow or what he is, but some sort of next level beast. In the first shot of him, it just looks so much like Keanu Reeves, but he looks like he might be a little bit of a problem here. Yes, I do. Firewall Dragon says, "Did you know that AOC tried to explain how it is impossible to literally pull yourself up by your bootstraps?" I did. I saw that. She's just wow. She is just nothing but constant content for comedians. As she really is. I mean, she's I don't know. I just think she's a dope. Excuse me. Anime Dolphin says, I agree. Nothing clears the mind more than some good old fashioned child rape porn. Yeah, that way church and state will truly be together. They can finally get together on something. Yeah. Niall says, I'm more of an X videos guy. Yeah, that's become my go to as well, Niall. I agree with you. They got it. They're excellent selection. Flame Enforcer says, she, meaning AOC, and Bernie make a good clown posse. Yeah. Yeah, that's, well, again, you guys know me and my take on the socialists, our American socialists. I'm watching My Hero Academia. It's greater than how I expected it. That was my reaction too, Andrew. My Hero Academia, I had doubts about just because of the I shouldn't say doubts. I didn't think it was going to be terrible. It's just the storytelling of being set against a high school with some heroes, and it's like, that sounds like it could be really cliche, but it was anything but. It's really well written, well done. Yeah, I like it. Oh, favorite Disney World memory? Well, you guys know that's our spot. Man, I'd have to think hard for just one. Thoughts about the Epcot transformation? Are you planning to visit Disney World next year for the 50th anniversary? Yes, on the last one, but we like to go at least once a year anyway. So, but we definitely want to be there in 2021 because everything will be done too. Actually, should be coming right up in a couple of weeks. That Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway Express there thing should be done, right? And then we got the Tron coaster coming. There's so much cool shit going. Favorite memory? Oh, I've got so many. I mean, that time I told you guys about before when Spaz Kid was little and he was dressed up as a pirate, and the way the cast members went out of their way to make the experience great for him. And there's just been so many things. We've been so fortunate in the things we've gotten to do when we've been there. The Epcot transformation is cool. I think it was necessary. But the only thing that sucks for me was, those big walls they had out front there, Sean, with all the little plaques on them, the little square plaques. Braxton is on there from when he was 6 years old. So that kind of sucks. We used to like going in, those monoliths, they call them. We used to like going in, and every time we'd go in, we'd go look at his picture on that big monolith there. So we kind of missed that. But in fairness, even though it was something really cool for us, I can see why they wanted him to go. They were kind of an eyesore. Yeah, I like what they're doing with the expansions. But I'm hoping there's some way that when they finally take those things down, that maybe we can claim that little square, that picture of him. I'm hoping. I don't think it's going to happen. I would really like to have that to keep. And Omega Project, thank you for the magenta sky. I kicked magenta's ass. That word would not stick for the longest time, and it's there now. Fuck magenta, I got it. Thanks for the magenta sky, Omega. Last week, we went back to her appointment after going out to a nice dinner. We're talking about, Omega's talking about his girlfriend here. And she says she's going to change me thinking. She's probably going to put something more comfortable. So I say, go ahead. She comes out in a skimpy Hinata outfit. That's badass. That's a keeper right there, Omega. She is absolutely 100% without a doubt a keeper. A skimpy Hinata outfit. That just stopped me. I mean, that just stopped all other thought process going on in my. We just came to a grinding halt, folks. Just thinking about that. That's freaking awesome. Yep. Yeah. You keep her. Absolutely. God damn, skimpy Hinata outfit. Jeez. Yeah, Lost Pupper says, I think my heart just stopped. Wow. Yeah, that's good shit. And you can tell her I said so. You can tell her I said applause, applause. That's well done. Astro Kid says, which do you prefer, fried chicken or barbecue? Fried. I'm not big barbecue. I just don't. I'm not big on barbecue sauce. Don't care for it. So yeah, that's an easy one for me. Fried chicken. Stops my heart quicker too, I think. Rose Sky Wolverine's still trying to hold on to the rose. She's dumb, but I want to plunge AOC's happy hole. Kaki Tsunami says that's understandable. And at least, for the time that you're doing that, she'll be involved with something else, and maybe she won't talk to the rest of us. So I'm all for you plunging that hole. Arthur says, don't get me wrong, I enjoy some fucked up porn, but I don't get raped. Yeah, I don't. Well, again, you guys know how I feel about, even when in watching anime and stuff, violence against women, just, it doesn't sit well with me. There's no way you can create it, even in, storytelling where I'm comfortable with it. Chicken Wars, Eve says. PC Format says, what do you think about the people from NASA said there's life on the satellite of Jupiter, Europe? I didn't catch that, PC Format. I'll have to try and look that up. Usually, I subscribe to different places like, gosh, I can't even think of the one. What's it called? What's that site called? I fucking love science or something like that, but I haven't heard anything about that from any of them. Excuse me. Manga readers say this is pretty much the prologue. Oh, really, Saw? That's cool. That's very cool. I've been so fortunate with the things that you guys have recommended. They've all been just so goddamn good. Yeah, Omega says you can imagine instant boner. Yeah, he's talking about, for anybody that just came in, about his girlfriend came out the other night and she had on a skimpy Hinata outfit for him. Yahoo, man. PewDiePie says respect ramen. Let's see. Well, I mean, they've already found actual microscopic life on Mars. That I knew, Lude. So a planet that's basically all ice with definite liquid water underneath almost certainly has some form of life. Yeah. It'll be interesting. Well, we've talked about that before. It will be interesting to see if there's ever, before whatever it is that finally takes out humanity, if there ever comes a point where we can actually make contact with other sentient, intelligent life forms out there. I wish I had a little looking glass into the future to see if that takes place. Mr. X says, the universe is so big, but not as big as my heart on for skimpy Hinata outfit. Yes, could not agree more. And Smiggy has a pig Bennis. Or Venus. I used to have a crush on a girl in school, Igor said, until she said, what the fuck is anime? And my brain slapped me in the back of the head and said, you dodged the bullet. Yep, deal breaker. Completely understandable. Dark Slaver says, I'm trying to get my job and driver's license on track, and this old man keeps distracting me by talking about skimpy Hinata outfits. Listen, when it was brought up, it's almost stopped my heart. I mean, that's that big a deal or that difficult to do, but it did almost stop my heart. It certainly stopped my thought process. Steve says, they found your penis on another planet? You said microscopic life. Loot Angel. Member Barry says, just got some re-election campaign mail from my local state representative. Guy looks like a total douchebag. It's not just because he's a Democrat. It's funny you say that, Barry. When you get those local mailers or this, that, or the other with the local politicians that you're not familiar with, that seems to so often be the case. It's like, and now he or she put this picture on their flyer or their promotional materials, and you immediately go, wow, that's the best picture you took? What the hell happened? I can't vote for you. You just made my eyeballs bleed. Jack Queen, never been on a stream drunk before, and never been a male butt plug. Tonight is a night for firsts. Well, I'm glad we could be a part of these firsts for you, Jack Queen. I've always said, over the years of having the channel, between comments and live streams, some of my all-time favorites in both comments and live stream comments have been ones that were self-identified as drunk and or high. Firewall Dragon says, have you caught any of the XFL? Very little. I keep meaning, all 3 weekends it's been on have been really busy for me, and I've been wanting to catch more, so just little bits and pieces. Also, BBW porn is my favorite. I like a good little BBW every once in a while. Yeah, absolutely. But then again, you can fill in the blank with almost anything, and I like a little bit of it every once in a while. Yeah. But no, I've been wanting to watch more of the XFL because everybody's telling me how it's actually pretty good, and it just seems like every weekend there's so much freaking shit going on. Colton, I'm high 24/7. Where Song says, if I were president, I'd make it to where every woman has to wear a skimpy Hinata outfits. Ooh, I wouldn't go every, because you got to think about it. You're talking politics, so if you say every, that means Nancy Pelosi in a skimpy Hinata outfit. Oh, just saying that actually hurt me. I almost threw up, and then I almost died, just from saying that. Holy shit. Sakura is way better. I knew you were going to say that, Wolverine. At some point, I knew you would bring that up. Omega says, well, now that I put that into everyone's head, all I'll say is make good use of that mental image. Oh, I'm sure we all will, Omega. I'm sure we all will. I'm telling you, that's keeper material right there. Your girlfriend shows up in a skimpy little Hinata outfit for you? Yep, that's keeper. Scott says, have you seen that they made a My Hero Abridged? No, I haven't seen that one yet. Scott, who made that? Is it a known group that made it? Somebody new coming up with one? Actually, I just said no, but now that I think about it, that might have been mentioned before. You guys will probably remember better than I do. It does actually sound familiar now that I think about it, but I haven't seen it though. I have not seen any of it. So, Arthur said no, Curtis. He said every woman. That's true. We can't. We have no way of proving what exactly Pelosi is. So yeah, that's true. Ultra Luke says, what would you do if Nancy Pelosi sent you unsolicited nudes? Throw up first, and then try and find out how I could make it. I'd want her arrested and put under a prison somewhere. That is the ultimate in torturous activity. That should be assault. I think that should carry the same penalty as shooting somebody. That's assault with more than deadly weapons. You hear the Pope might have coronavirus? I hadn't heard anything about that. For real, Skull? I didn't hear anything about that. I can't believe that they didn't have him right from the start, especially being an older guy. I can't believe, and once they knew it was prevalent in Italy, I can't believe they didn't have him locked right down. And then most of the time when he goes out, isn't he still in his little Pope-mobile there? that Pope-mobile might be more effective for protection against coronavirus than it is a random gunshot or something that it was designed for. Steve, I got to head off now. Can't stay for the whole thing. Unfortunately, catch you later. Okay, thanks for being in, pal. I'll talk to you later. So far, he's just sick, apparently. Oh, this is legit? Yeah, Big Green? No, I hadn't heard about that. Ooh, that could be bad because, again, obviously the potential for a dire outcome increases dramatically for older people. So, yahoo. Remember when Peter Griffin kidnapped the Pope? Yep, I do, Luke. Oh, thanks, Azaria. I appreciate that, my friend. I love those those little gifts. Those little what are they? You guys keep telling me what do they call them? The little animated things there. They just delight the shit out of me and I don't even I have no idea why. I just think they're cute. I'm simple. I'm very simple. I just really like that shit. Stickers. Thank you, guys. Another hard word to remember. Stickers. Those little stickers crack me up. Super stickers. Is that what they're called, Glenn? Careful with yourself, Curtis. Valkyrie says. Dragon Spheres. Curtis, what's bigger, Ichigo's sword or Dio's ego? Well, listen. I mean, Ichigo's sword was huge, and I was impressed. It was like, wow, size does matter. It was big. It was awesome. But you're talking a different playing field there when you're talking Dio's ego. That's yeah. You need a lot more room to encompass that. Ichigo's crazy dad reminds me of you sometimes. I love that, Digas. I'm only a couple episodes in, but I love that relationship between him and his dad. That's funny as fuck. The constant attack. It makes me think back to, you guys remember the old Pink Panther movies? When guy, what was his Asian assistant there would always, I can't remember his name. Was it Kato or was that Green Hornet? I can't remember, but whatever his assistant's name was, he would always come out and attack him to try and keep him on his feet and keep his fighting skills up to par. That's what it makes me think of, with the dad constantly attacking Ichigo. Firewall Dragon says, I had a fun Mardi Gras weekend. Cool. I got to smoke weed through a rubber hose with a socket wrench socket in the end of the bowl. Dude, you were having a good weekend. Wow. Kato. Thanks, Jacqueline. Yeah, so you remember that. That's what it makes me think of with Ichigo and his dad. That, how he's constantly jumping him from from the shadows. That's a quality party. That's a quality weekend. Let's see. Lute says, I generally wonder if you'll ever reach a point after watching many more anime when you become critical enough to find anime you think are trash, as is now you like pretty much anything. But Lou, that's more of a personality trait than it is anything to do with anime. Whenever I watch anything, my stance on it always been, I look for reasons to like it. I don't see any reason to look, and that's not to say I like everything, but I go into things looking for reasons to like them, because I like enjoying stuff, and I think that's a more fun way to approach things. So it has to be bad for me to really dislike it, and I have you guys as a buffer. The reason I don't see anime that I dislike is because the only anime I see is stuff that have come from a number of you guys saying that at least to some level that it's good. So I'm really fortunate that I don't have to go and pick and choose them myself. No, I'm not in the stock market at all, Arthur. Although I will say this, after today, if I was, I'd be buying. Because I do think, and again, this is just my projection, I do think the COVID-19, I think the drug companies are going to come up with some medications that will mitigate the damage and get it under control. And I think as soon as that happens, the market's going to make a monster rebound. And I think it'd be a really good time to be buying. That's just my personal opinion. Again, maybe I'm being too optimistic, but just from what I'm reading about where the drug companies are and how many of them think that they might have drugs that are going to at least be able to handle a lot of the symptoms of COVID, I think it's going to get knocked down. Okay, Mackenzie, thanks for being in. Just a person going to show us your feet once. Why would I show you my feet once? They're disgusting. They're old man feet, and they're all busted up. I told you guys I broke that right big toe off, and it's all, well, it's not mutant, but it's bigger than it should be, with a big scar across and everything. I got gross-ass feet. Not that all feet aren't gross. Thoughts of Goldberg going over on The Fiend? It's not how I would have written it, but it doesn't surprise me that much. But no, I would not have written it that way. Firewall Dragon says, a quick warning. Having the munchies when your mom makes homemade chili can result in an unpleasant bathroom stay the next day. Indeed it can, my friend. And it can also result in disturbance of the neighbors while you're actually on the toilet, at least for me, because I scream like a little bitch if I'm going to eat a bunch of homemade chili, or even after burrito night. I'm in there screaming and crying out for my life to end, and yeah, I'm not shy about it. Arthur says, don't buy until you see One Green Day first. I lost track, Arthur. We got too many things going on. I'm not sure what you mean, pal. I lost track of what you're referring to. Any wrestling road stories you like to share, Sean says? Oh, I got tons of stories. Most of them I've shared either in live streams or some of those. Didn't I share some of those guys in Storytime with Curtis? I don't remember. If you, I can't remember which ones, pal, but if you search Spaz Boys Comedy and the Spaz Boys Comedy Storytime with Curtis, search all that on YouTube, you'll probably be able to see some if you want to go listen to some of them. I know some of the stories I did were wrestling stories. Oh, the stocks. Oh, okay, the stocks. Gotcha. I'm sorry. Don't buy until you see one Green Day for. You think so, Arthur? You think it's better to wait until you see a little bit of a rebound, and then go? I don't know, boy. If you could hit it just right, yeah, it might still. You're right though. It might still be tanking, because even these medicines that I have some faith in will provide relief. They're just really getting their trials underway and everything, and I know they're going to expedite it all. But yeah, you might be right. You might need to need to wait a little bit longer. But I will say, even if you bought right now, I don't think it'll be long until you're well above water again. Have a day in profit first. I got what you're saying now. Called Catching Knives and takes out a lot of traders. Yeah, it's all projections, Arthur. You're right. And again, it might be a little too soon because the market is in free fall, and it's understandable. There's a potential pandemic upon us, so it's understandable. But if you can hit it just right, whoo man. Who is the cutest anime girl you have seen? Andrew says. Now I gotta qualify this. We're not talking waifu, because cute is different than sexy. If we're talking the absolute cutest, most adorable, for me it's not. It's easy, and it's Nezuko. I'm just stunned by how adorable and cutesy she is. I just think, again, she's not even in the waifu category for me. She's way too young. Just not my taste in waifu. But as far as cute or adorable, it's all about her. I just was shocked by her look right from the get-go. Dragon says, if you want a really good wrestling story, watch the Jim Cornette Dairy Queen video. I want to say I've heard that story. I might be wrong, though, Dragon. Maybe not. Because I don't remember the details. I've heard a lot of Jim Cornette stories. He gets... I've worked on shows that he was at. He's a good guy. Don't get me wrong. Jim Cornette's a good guy. He knows a lot about the business. But, boy, I tell you, he can... I don't like to shit on... I don't think it's shitting on anybody to say that he can... At least for me, he can get under your skin pretty easy, too. Just his... Not... And I don't mean... like he's digging at you and trying to get under your skin. I mean, just the way he conducts himself sometimes. Omega says, on a related note, I don't think I've ever had so much trouble containing myself until we got back to the bedroom. Yeah, with your girlfriend with a skimpy Hinata outfit? Yep. I'm with you there. That's crazy. Oh man. Yes, I'm a huge supporter of your girlfriend's. I think she did the right thing. You started watching from Filthy Frank Trap Beat. Oh, Papa Franku, he was so freaking awesome. Astro Kid, my favorite wrestler. Well, it goes way back because I especially with athletes and things like that. A lot of times your favorites are always going to be the ones you idolize as a child. Mine is, and it's Bruno Sammartino. Now, of the more current wrestlers, I've always thought that Mark Calloway, The Undertaker, is just brilliant. I think that gimmick is fantastic. I think as a worker, he's just above and beyond what you would expect from a guy of that size for sure. And I'm just a huge nerd for him. I think he's fantastic. Yeah, Wolverine. Where them white women at? Whammon. Where them white women at? That's one of my favorite lines. Again, when it comes to movies, I'm more of a modern person than I am for most things. Even though I'm old, I'm not usually that big a fan of the older stuff. But Blazing Saddles, that's a classic comedy. That'll be funny forever. Doesn't matter how many years ago it was made. And that's, where are the white women at? That's what that quote is from. Oh, is it? Dragon says the Jim Cornette Dairy Queen incident is actually on YouTube in full. For those of you who are wrestling fans, I will say this. No matter what I think about personality-wise, Jim Cornette is fun to listen to tell stories. So if Dragon's saying this, and I think I've heard it, I'll have to go listen to it because I'm pretty sure I've heard him tell that story, but I can't place it. If Dragon's saying this is a particularly good Cornette story and you're a wrestling fan, go check it out because Jim Cornette is a really good storyteller. And he's been around the business a really long time and he's been around all the greatest that the business has ever seen. So his stories are fantastic. No, Andrew, I haven't seen One Punch Man season 2 yet. That's on that list of things I gotta find a place for over at the Goose because we gotta get caught up on DXD. I'm dying to see that. One Punch Man 2 soon when My Hero Academia season 4 is done. I'm gonna want to get started on that. Yeah, we're getting quite a backup. No, Trap Beat Creation says, have you heard about the guy who threw an alligator through the Wendy's drive-through window in Florida? But again, Florida man, why does all this shit happen in fucking Florida? Jesus. Did I hear about it? No. Am I surprised to hear about it? Nah. It's me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin, Sean says. Member Barry says that state rep has that douchey looking smile. He's talking about a mailer he got from a local politician. Like, holy fuck, I want to punch him in the face, but I also need him to request my passes for a tour of the White House. So I get the passes or get to assault him. That would be cool if you could get passes for a tour of the White House. So I just, at least for the time being, I would choke down the urge to do the punching if he can get those passes. One punch Curtis's like button, Andrew says. Philip, what's up, fellow degenerates? That pretty much covers this. Yeah, I like that. Arthur says, check my last post. Gotta go after that. Oh, you gotta go, pal? Okay, hold on. Let me find it. It's easier to look by the icon. I know your icon pick well. Kitty cat. There it is. Demon Slayer pisses me off. I can't watch it because it's too similar to a story I've been working on since I was a kid. That sucks. Main character, even a demon hunter with a demon girl and price screw too. Oh, that's rough. I've had that happen because I've told you guys before I really got started in entertainment. The first thing I did was screenwriting. And I've had that happen to where you're working on a screenplay and you'll be right in the middle of it or even worse, completed it. And then you hear on TV, or well, back then it was TV, didn't have the internet. You hear on TV how they're coming out with a movie that's basically the exact same premise. And then you go in the other room and you take a match and you just burn your fucking script. I've been there. That sucks. But thanks for being in with us too, Arthur, while you could. Firewall Dragon says there's actual video of the incident itself on YouTube. The story is good. There's a video of the whole Cornette Dairy Queen thing. Yeah, I'll have to try and remember to look that one up. Yep, because his stories are great. I do think I've heard it, but I'll have to watch it. If I have, it should tick the memory. If Bernie wins, how screwed are we all? Flame Enforcer, to me, it's the ultimate in being screwed. And I'll tell you why. If you guys want, because I know we have people in here that are Bernie supporters, and I don't want you to think I'm ragging on them just for the fun of ragging on them or something. I'll explain to you guys exactly why I think it's a bad idea. And it's not for me. I'm 58 years old and I'm already retired. His policies, whatever of them he could get enacted, are really going to have little effect on me in my lifetime. But the fact of the matter is, when you start turning more and more power over to the central government, when the government becomes in charge of your health care, paying for your further education, all these different things, guaranteeing you all these different devices in life, and to do so, they need to have you give them the big percentage of your money and they redistribute it. It never works out well because what happens is every government does not manage money well. It's just the nature of the beast of government because there's too many hands, too many people picking at the pie all the time. So as these costs escalate, now you've got these plans in place. You've got Medicare for all in place. You've got everybody's college is going to be paid. As these costs escalate, and they will, trust me, they will, you need more money. You can't stop the programs now because everybody will what am I going to do? You can't just take my health insurance away. So the costs keep multiplying. As those taxes go up higher and higher, it's not long until people can't buy food They can't pay for their housing. They can't pay their electric bill. And then they start going, well, how come my taxes are so high? And they look at it and they go, okay, I got health insurance, but a big hunk of this money is going to pay for college. I didn't go to college. My children didn't want to go to college. They went to a trade school. Or they start doing the math and they realize that as bad as everybody wanted to make out our health system to be, that they're actually spending more than they were before. Or that certainly paying this tax for college the entirety of their life comes out spending more than if they had just made intelligent decisions in paying for the education under the old system. Further, you start to realize that, hey, instead of having gone completely off the deep end and telling the government, here's all the money, now you just redistribute it, if we had just fixed the parts of the existing system that weren't working, everybody could have been happy, and I could still buy bread this week. And that's when the things that happen in socialist countries so often happen, and people take to the streets, and they start, because they don't know what else to do, because they don't have enough money out of their paychecks to survive, and then you get that type of unrest. But in America, it's going to be different, because there's 350 or 400 million guns in this country, and that's when the shit's going to hit the fan, and that's what I don't want to have happen for my kids and grandkids. By the time that all takes place, I'll probably be gone. If not gone, I'll be elderly. It's my kids and grandkids I worry about. Super Saiyan, which says, which would you prefer, a yukata or a kimono? I know what a kimono is. I don't know what a yukata is. Super Saiyan, which I can't tell you. I don't know what that one is. A yukata. I don't know. Hold on. Domenico says, what do I think about Donald Trump? Depends. Politically, I align with more of his policies than I do of the current crop of Democrats, particularly with them being as far left as they are now. As a person, I think he's kind of a buffoon, and I think he's kind of a douche. But I'm going to vote for him because I'm voting for my president based on policies. If I was voting for my president based on personality, he wouldn't even be in the top 10 for certain. But that's not what I base my vote on. What do I think about the UK leaving the EU? I hesitate to comment on that, Domenico, just because I don't have enough knowledge. And I don't like commenting on things where I don't think I have a strong enough breadth of knowledge to make a halfway intelligent comment. So I kind of stay away from that one. Again, I don't have any real thoughts based on real hard facts. I don't know enough about... At first, it seemed like a good idea to me what I was reading. Then I would read some of the counter claims or the counter views, and so now I'm just confused. I really don't know. Hey, Franca. Let's see. Baldman, by the time that happens, you'll be gone, or at the very least, Kilowa. Milag. Sergeant Renegade says, Curtis, can you run for president? We need you in office. Big titty police will be the first law to be passed. Oh, yeah. You have my vote if Perfect Cell is vice president. Oh. So our police forces would be heavily populated with bitches with cannons. Bitches who love cannons, I should say. Oh, that would make me so happy. I might run just based on that alone. And that's going to be my one and only platitude is bitches with cannons. Glenn says, got my girlfriend started on Death Note and Walking Dead. Oh, Death Note's so goddamn good. Good call. Walking Dead, I still haven't seen. My daughter was way into Walking Dead for a while. I think towards the end, she kind of petered off on it a little bit. She used to love it. But man, Death Note, oof, goddamn, that's good storytelling. Bitches love cannons. Yes, they do, Mr. Spartus. And the titty police need to be topless. Oh, Philip, between this and the Skimpy Hinata outfit, oh, this has been a very distracting stream today. Undead Man of Evil says, Donald Trump screwed my state? How do you do that? I'm not sure what you're talking about, my friend. If I was president, I have a special holiday porn day. There you go. Everybody gets the day off to... I'm with that. Absolutely. Absolutely, I'm with that. Jeff, I never noticed that. Let Yagami. Last name spelled backwards is I am a gay. I never noticed that. Yep, that would be it. I never noticed that. Monty Python, The Holy Grail is the best comedy ever. Where a song says, "You're not going to get an argument from me." I freaking love that movie. I've seen that so goddamn many times. I've got basically every line of it memorized. I can say it right along with them. Not going to argue with you on that one. Hey, Alex, good to see you, pal. Have you seen the old vids of Bernie Sanders praising the Soviet Union and Fidel Castro? Yes, I have. There's a lot of things. Excuse me, guys. I've seen that are going to be very uncomfortable for Bernie as they really start getting after him. If the other Democrats, I think, have been a little hesitant to go that deep, but obviously Trump won't be. And, you know, the whole thing with him in that interview and it's going to be tough to get the women's vote when he's talking about women with their rape fantasies and how they actually kind of like it type thing. And yeah, that wasn't, when that starts hitting the mainstream, that's that's not going to be good for him. No, Smiggy. Have you watched much Yu-Gi-Oh, my favorite anime? No, I haven't. I've only seen Igotas, you know, the abridged. I have never seen Yu-Gi-Oh. Because I had to ask the gang when we were watching Igotas if it was worth watching with me knowing nothing about it. And they said, yeah, it's still funny, which it was, but I haven't seen any of the original. What was my career before I retired? My day job, Sean? I worked for a local municipality, but I was a truck driver most of my life. I was either driving truck or working, driving truck, driving bus. I was a driver. And for some of the years, I would work, because I worked for the sanitation department, because we had a great gig where you went in and as soon as you got done, you went home and you got paid for 8 hours. And sometimes we could do the work in like 3.5 to 5 hours. So I was either on the back of the garbage truck or I was driving. But when people say what was a career, I say truck driver because that's what I spent most of my time with. I am done dandy with AOT, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was stunningly good, absolutely fantastic. Bye, love's off to read fan fiction. That nothing wrong with that. Bye, love. Yes, Slude. Strange women distributing magical swords from lakes is no basis for a proper system of government. Look, I'm being repressed. I'm being repressed. Oh, what a dead giveaway right there. Bloody peasant. Yep, I know it all. I love that movie. I do like jazz, Eric. I don't listen to it a lot. You know, it's not on my playlist or anything, but it's just one of those things that I do enjoy. You know, in other words, if there's anything on TV that I'm watching, I come across a video on YouTube and it's got some smooth jazz in it, I'll stay with it. Yeah, I do like jazz. The only thing that would have been better for me, Omega Project says, he's talking about his girlfriend wearing a skimpy Hinata outfit. The only thing that would have been better for me is if she had come out in a Black Widow outfit. Oh, wow. Ooh, that's a toss-up for me, Omega. Ooh, Hinata's outfits are like, but Black Widow? Yeah, that's a tough call. You can't go wrong either way there. You win either way. That doesn't matter. There is no way that that's a loss in any way, shape, or form with either one of them. Undead Man of Evil. The guy I wanted to vote for dropped out. He knew how to stop gun violence. I don't know who that would be, Undead Man of Evil, because I know no one who knows how to stop gun violence. I mean, if we actually did know how to do it, I think it would be done. But I don't know who that would be because, again, nobody knows how to stop gun violence in this country. Because the problem is we say things like gun violence, and it's actually the people that are violent, and we need to figure out why. And there's just like making drugs illegal doesn't stop people from getting them, even making guns illegal isn't going to make it hard for psychos to get guns and shoot people with them. I know how to stop gun violence, take all the guns violently. And the thing of it is, Eric, is, okay, even if you try to take all the guns, you think guns are not going to exist? You think they won't come over the border from Mexico or especially nowadays when, you know, it's so easy to create them oneself, you're never, it's never going to happen. There are more guns in the country than there are people. And I'm a big Second Amendment supporter. I believe people have the right to have a gun. And if for no other reason, because we don't know what'll happen. Now's the perfect time to talk about it. Say you did have this, it's not going to happen with coronavirus. The disease itself isn't destructive enough. But you get a pandemic or something like that where society breaks down. I think a lot of people are going to be glad they have guns if something like that happens. So people keep on trafficking guns. Guns cannot be stopped. Yeah, you're right, Andrew. It'll never stop. Damn it, Mexico. Yeah, you're right. Well, they're going to come in from somewhere, and obviously Mexico would be the obvious choice because it's the easiest way to smuggle something into the U.S. Excuse me. Curtis, what about the federal booby inspection? Oh yeah, that would be one of my most important departments, and I would as president I would take personal responsibility for that department. uh, Undead Man, no, the Asian guy that was running his plane to make thumb scan guns. Um, Oh, you're talking about Andrew Yang? The thumb scan thing isn't necessarily a bad idea. It's not going to stop gun violence, though, because again, you have to remember, Undead Man, that means, okay, those guns that are produced that way are only going to be able to be operated if the proper thumb scan is presented, but you're still going to have plenty of guns that aren't going to have a thumb scan on them. You could never make them go away. So nobody knows how to end gun violence. I understand what you're saying with the thumb scans, but it's not going to stop it. You can stop gun violence by torturing criminals so bad they wouldn't dare to commit gun violence. If only it were that easy, even, Alex. Because unfortunately, a lot of times the most violent crimes committed with guns are from people that, had never done anything criminal before. How to stop gunmen. Chase after them with a thong on, Edgar B says. Or with nothing on. Omega says, I have a thing for tight leather, and the scene from Iron Man 2 exists. I don't think it's a surprise. I like that Black Widow. Yeah, tight leather is a hot look. I completely agree with you. It's always been a great look. Completely agree. I think it's people just start shanking. Yeah, I mean, my personal opinion in America is we have a societal issue. Because as I've always said, when I went to school, guys, guns were everywhere. I mean, again, literally, kids would bring guns into school to show people, because we lived in the country and most everybody was hunters, and they'd get a new hunting rifle and they'd be all proud of it and come in to show everybody, the teachers, the other kids, and the guns were in all the pickup trucks in the parking lot. Always had guns in the rack, and the trucks were left unlocked, and nobody ever shot anybody because nobody wanted to shoot anybody. Nobody wanted to hurt anybody else. What we have now is a major societal issue with people, and specifically kids, wanting to kill other people and kids. RIPS Europeans if apocalypse starts. Yeah, Eric. Well, again, the coronavirus, I mean, we do have to keep it in perspective. It could be bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not poo-pooing that away. But remember, even as of now, over 80% of coronavirus cases have been listed as mild. Obviously, we only hear about the more deadly ones, but given that that's the jumping off point, if they can keep going with these medications that have shown some promise in working against the symptoms, I think we're gonna all end up being okay. But it still will be obviously a risk to the elderly and to people with any type of breathing issues. And it sounds like to me, and this is just my take, it sounds like to me like a really severe flu right now, because that's the flu takes out people in those categories as well. But to say it's just the flu, I don't know we can say that yet. It sounds like it's a little bit more rogue than that. But again, over 80% have been in the mild category. Another, I think it was 7 or 8% have been in, I forgot what the other category is, serious or something like that. And then the last, whatever that leaves, it was like 11, 12% have been in that critical category. Undead Man of Evil says, gay Batman will help with crime. Tracy Jacks, formerly Rand Man, says, I think the problem is the people. I agree. I mean, we live in an age where if you really wanted to, you could make a gun with a 3D printer. I don't personally like guns, but the problem is the people, not guns. I agree. And the thing of it is, and as I said before, I'm never going to get specific about this. We're on a public forum. I'm not going to put these ideas out there. But think about it. In a crowded situation, guns are not even the most effective way of killing a lot of people. They aren't. And I'm not even gonna entertain discussion about what is, but we have to stop the psychos from wanting to kill people much more than we have to worry about the means or the objects they decide to use to do it. Because if you take it away, one thing, you could never take it all away, but I don't even want them getting more creative about it. So, I mean, and there's a lot of cases of it going around, a lot of incidents that happen with things outside of guns. And again, I don't want to get too detailed because we all know what these things are, but you never know who's watching something that's out in public like this. So I'm not going to go into details about it. Milog says, super chats are more important than food and water. When I see someone I want to super chat, I say, I likes you, and I want to super chat you. We can either do this the easy way or the hard way. Choice is yours. That's a little different. I love my friend Michael. My gun's name is Michael, Wizard King says. My God, Walking Guns the movie. Give me all the royalties for that. Thank you very much, Sergeant Renegade. Hulk Hogan versus Cena, Astro Kid? Well, it would depend on who they wanted to put over at the time. You know, it would all depend on the situation who would actually end up winning it. Bernie wouldn't... Hey, good to see you, hon. Bernie wouldn't dare try to take our guns away because he knows that he'll get assassinated. Well, the thing of it is, Alex, Bernie does sometimes, and he's doing this to other Democrats, this is what proves it, he tends to really overestimate, I believe, what his burners, quote unquote, numbers are. That's why now he's just, it's one thing to be polar opposite of the Republicans, but he's just trashing all the traditional Democrats as well. He's making no bones about it anymore. It's us against them type thing. And it's like, well, I don't think that was your smartest strategic maneuver, was to alienate at least half of the party whose nomination you're running for. That's why I don't think he ends up as the nominee. He's between the fact you still have to deal with 500 superdelegates at the end of the process and the way he's alienating so many Democrats now. I think he's shooting himself in the foot. Shooting himself in the foot when we're talking about gun control. Hogan would win via politics. Well, that's entirely possible, Edgar. That's very possible. Democrats and Republicans, Civil War all over again. Well, I hope not, Eric. Sometimes it seems like it, doesn't it? The Bernie Bros are going to riot so hard. You know what, though, Flame? They might not have a leg to stand on because, again, if he keeps doing some of the things he is doing, and they keep doing, the Bernie Bros, some of the things they are doing, I don't think he's going to have a leg to stand on because I don't think he'll be leading in delegates when they get to the convention anyway. As of a couple weeks ago, I would have said he probably will be, but again, now these attacks against mainstream Democrats, it's like, okay, we know he's not a Democrat. He's a socialist. He wants a democratic socialist, whatever he wants to call himself. He's a socialist, but he's an independent in American politics. But you're running for the Democratic nomination, and you're pissing off half the people that you need to support you. So it's been a really odd last couple of weeks for Bernie's team strategically. You think so? Where Song says Bernie is definitely getting the nomination. I'm not so convinced. I think he's going to get pummeled in South Carolina tomorrow. I think Biden's going to win South Carolina big. That's just my opinion. Let's see. I used that last work for Trump. Which thing, Jack Queen? I didn't catch which thing. But Trump didn't really piss off the Republican base or the conservative base. He just pissed off the other contenders. There's a definite, distinct difference there. What if Bernie pulls off his mask and he's actually T.O.? Flame Enforcer says. That's good. I don't care what the politicians do, but if they interfere in my dog's life, then I'll eat their grandchild's unborn fetus, Mr. X says. Well, like I say, Astro Kid, who would win in that just depends on like Milag, or was it Milag? Somebody said the politics at the time and who they wanted to put over. You know, it's impossible to say who would win. It would depend on the time and what was best for business. Oh, you're asking Jack Queen, fan of Freddie Mercury. Well, you guys all know I am. I love Freddie. Tsunami says none of the Dems can beat Trump, but Byrne has the best chance. I think they will recognize that and get behind him. See, I would disagree with that, Tsunami. And again, this is just strictly opinion. I could absolutely be wrong. As much as he's a gaffe machine, I think Biden has the best chance against him, because I think if Bernie's the nominee and all the gloves come off, and Trump and the Republicans, who are flush with money because there's been record contributions throughout the entirety of the last 6-7 months, when they start hammering him on what exactly socialism is, and they keep pounding that over and over and over, and they start dredging up the things that he said in his past, and you keep seeing the videos of comments he's made about Russia and other rather unfriendly governments, and the whole thing with the women, because I know that's going to come up, with the women enjoying a little rape fantasy and all that type of stuff. When those gloves come off, I think he gets pounded. I don't think, because he's been in it so long, there's not that much material to hit Biden with. Everybody knows who Joe Biden is. Everybody knows what his downfalls are. A lot of people think he's creepy, he's inappropriate, but that's all out there. The stuff on Bernie isn't yet. That's why I think Biden has the best chance. Now, again, I could be wrong, but that's my take on it. Who's my favorite candidate, if you want to say it? Right now, there hasn't been a Democrat that stepped up that I would vote for against Trump. Pete Buttigieg is probably the closest to it, but unfortunately, I think in South Carolina, and then on Super Tuesday, I think Pete is going to do poorly enough that it's going to be pretty much over for him. And again, these are just my opinions. Cena versus Hogan just depends on who's better at kissing Vince's butt. Omega Project says pretty much. Yeah, good point. Good point. Or in this case, maybe even Triple H's, but kissing somebody's butt. Yes, I agree with you. I still think Harambe should be president, Alex Starblue says. Member Barry says if Bernie wins the election, on a scale of being screwed backwards to 1970 Soviet Union, will be the Soviet Union after World War II. Maybe the Lord or whatever fictional characters you believe in help us all. Oh, that's funny. Astro Kid, do I watch football/soccer? No, I've never been a big fan. Nothing against it. Just, I don't know. I don't like, one thing I don't like, sports that can end in a tie. And I've watched some soccer here or there. I've got to admit, I've had a few matches I've gotten into, but overall, particularly during the Olympics, but overall, no, don't really follow it that close. Other than, if I watch, whether it's ESPN or one of the sports shows and watching highlights, as I've always said, I don't turn it off when the soccer comes up. So that's where I get information, but not a lot of it. Tsunami says Biden forgot he was running for president, and the whole vote for the other Biden thing he's done. I don't think that'll kill him off, Tsunami, only because people know that he's a gaffe machine and he's going to say dopey things like that. And again, I could be wrong, but I don't think it hurts Biden that much. It would hurt somebody else more. But again, Biden's a known commodity, and that's the type of thing he does. My ethnic background is all over the place, Sean. As far as we know, a lot of we always said I'm a Heinz 57 varieties. A lot of Celtic region, as near as we can tell. I'm going to get one of those tests done one of these days to get a better feel for it, better handle on it. But when Brax had to do a genealogy thing for school, it led basically back to where we thought it would, which is, what was it, Ireland, England, Scotland were in there, some Dutch, actually some Scandinavian. We've got so many different regions in our background. There's a lot of banging going on in my family's history. People were crossing oceans to bang one another just to get the the blood that we have running through our pores. Yang proposed one of the most demeaning and destructive policies of the candidates, even though it seems appealing. Oh, his $1,000 a month. Yeah, milk-a-lator. Yeah. Alex, what did you think of Andrew Yang? We one of the podcast recordings we did, I went to his website as we were doing the podcast, the live stream. Unfortunately, after I went to the website, I wasn't as big on him. I still think he's a good kid. I think as a person, I think he's a good dude. But I didn't like the way his website was structured with a lot of the vagueness of it, and then a lot of the silly things he was using to base his platforms on. So it made me less of a fan. But I think he's got a future in politics, and I think he's a well-reasoned, likable person. Omega Project says, no, Triple H would make it a triple threat and beat both of them himself just to screw with the fans. That's probably the biggest possibility of anything we've talked about. Yes, Triple H, Hulk Hogan, Cena, Triple H puts himself over. That one I could believe. Absolutely. All right, guys. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go. Still got a lot of editing to do. I'm getting ahead because tomorrow I'm going to spend some time with Spaz Kid. I'm going out. Ow. His college is taking a trip, a bunch of them, out to the Syracuse Mall. And so I'm going to just drive out to Syracuse to meet him out there. And we're just going to have lunch together, do a little shopping at the mall. And then the end of next week, I'm doing the hypnosis show at his school. So I still got to get some editing done because I want to have videos done ahead of time. Make sure you guys get everything, on schedule over the weekend and all. So, always be more Devil Artemis, Omega Delta. I love DA. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. This was a great. I should do this more often. As I put in the title, I came in unprepared today, and I didn't have any talking points to begin with, and I left it all to you guys, and it unsurprisingly worked out much better than when I had talking points. So in other words, you guys' ideas are better than mine, because when I came in with no ideas, if you guys remember the beginning of the stream, we went right to porn. Can't fault that. You guys are sharper than me. No two ways about it. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thanks for all the fun and the laughs and the great conversation. And streaming tomorrow is iffy because I'm going to be gone most of the day. If I get a chance later in the evening, I will. But if not, we'll be back on Sunday with a live stream. Guys, thanks again. I will talk to you guys as soon as I can.